What's up, fellas and lady fellas? I'm CJ Vogel, the creator of Sports Update. We're back once again on the YouTube channel making a video about Cam Newton and Dak Prescott, which quarterback is better, who's had the more successful career, and why I feel like one of these quarterbacks is severely disrespected amongst fans of the NFL. Of course, before we jump in, make sure to hit up SeatGeek. Use code SportsUpdate. Save $20 off your first purchase once sports and concerts and all that come back after this Corona deal. But save some money. Help us out. Much appreciated. Also, hit that like and subscribe button. Share it with your friends. Tell us how stupid we are. We like to hear that. But also just make sure to subscribe moving forward. So, off the bat, you're probably thinking Cam Newton gets the nod here. He's won the MVP. He's been to a Super Bowl. Had the Pro Bowl, the All-Pros. What's Dak have? Not bad. But let me tell you why Dak Prescott is a better quarterback than Cam Newton going forward, in the past, and right now. Here's the deal. Both of these quarterbacks are super talented with unique skill sets that separate them from other quarterbacks in the league. But if you look statistically at a single season, the best 4 years of each quarterback, and the overall career numbers for both quarterbacks, Dak blows Cam Newton out of the water in almost every statistic other than running. All right, I want to start the stat comparison by comparing season averages for both careers and just see where it goes from here, all right? So here's the graphic, season averages for Cam Newton and Dak Prescott. As you can see, there's a whole lot of green in the passing stats for Dak Prescott. There's a whole lot of green on the rushing stats for Cam Newton. I discounted 2019 season for Cam, considering he only played 2 games for injuries, while Dak's played pretty much every game since he's been healthy for the last 4 years. Every single meaningful statistic for a quarterback, touchdowns, interceptions, completion percentage, yards, quarterback rating, interception and touchdown percentages, average yards per attempt, they all go to Dak Prescott. Meanwhile, you look at the rushing statistics for Cam Newton, and he blows Dak out of the water with almost 2 to 1 yards per year, 2 more touchdowns per year, and a slightly better yards per attempt per year as well. I want to just look at Dak's first 4 years compared to Cam Newton's best 4 years. Dak's been in the league for 4 years. He's played pretty well, been in 2 Pro Bowls, been in the playoffs twice. Cam Newton, he's had a longer career, been in here since 2011. I'm going to take his best 4 years. I'm going to take 2011 as rookie year, 2013, 2015 where he won the MVP. The Panthers went 15-1 and they went to the Super Bowl. And I'm going to take 2018, his last healthy year. As you can see, there's still a whole lot of green on Dak Prescott's side compared to Cam Newton's. There is, however, a big discrepancy in touchdowns for each quarterback. Cam Newton's got 138, while Dak's got 118, so 20 more touchdowns over 4 years. However, the interceptions are much lower for Dak. Completion percentage is higher. Yard per game is higher. Quarterback rating is much higher as well. So, the efficiency is there for Dak. The production, touchdown-wise, is there for Cam Newton. And of course, rushing is still favoring Cam with 13 more touchdowns and almost double the amount of yards on the ground as well in those 4 years. If you look at the yards per carry for both quarterbacks, 5.1 is real good for a quarterback right there. Does it tell you that one's better than the other? No, it just tells you that one runs more than the other. Granted, I do think Cam is a better runner than Dak, but also if you look back at the Jason Garrett era for the Cowboys, a lot of outrage from Cowboy fans regarding how little Dak actually ran the ball. And I think that's a big component for why those rushing numbers are down compared to Cam. All right, so we've seen the career averages. We've seen the best 4 years for each quarterback averages. I'm going to take you down to the single season best year for each quarterback and see how they compare there. Obviously, Cam Newton has the MVP in 2015 when the Panthers went 15-1. You would think right off the bat that's going to be a no-brainer edge for Cam Newton. Let's see. So Cam had 35 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, a 3.5 touchdown interception ratio. Very good. Anytime your quarterback has an over 2 touchdown interception ratio, very good. Meanwhile, Dak had 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. You can see right there it's about a 2.72. Phenomenal season. He was better in completion percentage. Had 1,200 more yards by the looks of things. QB rating was just about the same. Obviously, the touchdown percentage favored Cam, while the interception percentage favored Dak. So is Dak's single season better than Cam's? No. 45 touchdowns for Cam Newton in a single season is absurd. That's a great year. Obviously, Dak doesn't have that statistically, 33 touchdowns. The yards per attempt rushing was higher than Dak's. That's the first time you've seen this on the graphic so far. But I cannot give Dak a single season better than Cam, clearly because, one was an MVP and led his team to a Super Bowl in that year. So you're probably thinking Cam's been to the Super Bowl, he's been further in the playoffs, he's had the more success, in the playoffs, win or go home type situations. If we're talking strictly win-loss percentage, Dak has the edge with 64 total games. He's a 40-24 record for a 63% win rate. Meanwhile, Cam has 68 wins, 55 losses, and a tie during his career, 55%. I'm also a big proponent that quarterbacks get too much blame and too much credit for winning games, so let's check the defenses. Let's start with the Cowboys defense. Since 2016, Dak's first full year, it's averaged 9.5 ranking in total defense, and it's averaged a 9th ranking in scoring defense as well. You can see 2016 and 2018 were the 2 years that the Cowboys made the playoffs. They were 6th in scoring defense both years, and they were 7th in total defense in 2018 at just over 329 yards per game allowed. And in 2016, Dak's rookie year, they were 14th. Dak really carried the load right there with his touchdown-interception ratio. Protecting the ball was one of the big things that really got Cowboy fans on board with Dak Prescott as a rookie. Now let's head over to Cam Newton. Cam's been to the playoffs in 2013, 2015, and 2017. As you can see, all 3 years the Panthers have had a top 10 defense. 2015 they were 6th best defense when they went 15-1. 2013, his first year making the playoffs, the Panthers had the 2nd best defense. So it's easy to see in years that the Panthers had a competent defense there, the win-loss correlated. In comparison with the Cowboys defense, the Panthers are allowing 8 yards per game more over Cam Newton's career compared to Dak Prescott's career, and just over 2 points per game more. So not significant. Right, both are hovering right around the top 10, top 12 range. Clearly, Dak's had a more consistent tenure defense behind him, while Cam's has been more sporadic as far as 2nd best in the league to 28th. So you've seen the heads-up statistics with one quarterback versus another. You've seen the defenses and how they compare year to year. But let me tell you why this is my biggest gripe with Cam Newton. Clearly, we knew how talented he was coming out of Auburn, where he won the national championship. And we've seen how good he can be in the NFL. Clearly, 2015 MVP, 15-1 Super Bowl, blah, 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 blah. But why can't Cam replicate that season year in and year out? He's thrown for 4,000 yards just once in his career. He's had a QB rating in the 90s just twice. He's had 12 or more interceptions in every single year except for one, something Dak's only done once in his career. So if you're a Cam Newton fan, you're probably going to point out the rushing attempts and the rushing yards and say that's why he is separated from many other quarterbacks, specifically Dak Prescott. Since coming into the league in 2011, Cam's been in the top 5 every single year except for one in terms of quarterback rushing yards per season, and he's led it 3 times. But are those 100 to 200 yards that you're going to get from Cam Newton on the ground over any other quarterback really what separates him from the pack? I don't think so, especially when you consider in the last 2 years that these guys were healthy, Dak threw for more than 1,200 yards in the air than Cam Newton did. So there you have it, guys. I've given you single-season career and best 4 years for each quarterback statistically, and I've also provided defensive stats to show why each team, performed the way they did in each year. In my opinion, I'm taking Dak Prescott over Cam Newton, and I don't think it's that close in terms of relative career averages and performances. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Also, make sure to subscribe and like. Comment below also another, comparison y'all want to see moving forward. I got all the time in the world to make some of these videos. As always, make sure to follow us on Sports Update on Instagram, and hit me up on Twitter as well at CJVogel3. I'll see y'all next time.